What is going on, beautiful people? We are back at OPEX Gatwick, or at the very least just outside, but it's the middle of March, the sun is out, the sun is shining, it's getting a little bit warmer, enough for me to wear shorts and a vest outside anyway, and basically I do not have much flipping time today, which I thought was kind of a good opportunity for a quick training vlog to basically show you, if you do want to do kind of a quick whole body session, a little bit of lifting, a little bit of conditioning stuff, but you're a bit strapped for time, that is what we're going to be covering now. But I can't gob off about it for too long because, again, obviously and ironically, I'm in a rush. So I'm going to load up the Farmer's Walk bars behind me and then let's get cracking. As if by magic, Farmer's Walk handles are loaded up along with the dumbbell. Basically what we're going to do, again, a little bit of kind of like weighted conditioning is my go-to if I don't have much time and I basically want to do a training session kind of encompassing a bit of everything. Bit of lifting, a little bit of lactic acid, a little bit of heavy stuff, a little bit of cardio, kind of the whole shebang all in one. So what I'm going to do with the handles, take them up to a line just further than us, turn around and come back. And then there's a dumbbell over there which you might be able to see in the distance as well, and effectively single arm push press. What I'm going to do is do 6 each side, and I'm going to do 5 rounds at a time. A little bit of like steady state cardio, obviously breathing rhythm's going to change from the push press to the carries, but a little bit of everything, cardio stuff, working the heart, working the lungs, but working the muscles and the grip as well. Let's see how we get on. And there we go, 5 rounds for time of the Farmer's Walk carries. First one, significantly flipping heavier than I expected. But the dumbbells for the overhead actually felt a little bit lighter. It's the thing with, as I said, when you don't have much time, you've got to kind of strike the balance between making sure you're nice and expedient, but at the same time, not fucking about and skimping on the warm-up. So that's that bit done. And to be honest, everything I do, especially kind of this time of the year when the sun feels like a bit of a novelty and it's at a temperature where you're still able to function. It might be a bit different if it was like 33 degrees, but today it's high teens, 20. Obviously it's not exactly boiling, but it's just such an unbelievable kind of like dump of serotonin when you're out here. So as much stuff as possible I reckon you should do outside. A lot of my cardio stuff now, my conditioning days generally, have kind of like transitioned into a little bit of running. Been smashing out some 5Ks recently, and even if whatever I'm doing, my program requires some kind of barbell stuff and I can't do that outside, I see kind of no problem really with flicking in between. That's section 1 done. Let's move on to section 2. 'Tis a lovely day for it. That's what my friend Elliot says. Say hi, Elliot.
Hello.
Hello. He does look like a Vietnam War veteran. He's not just made his way back, it's just his style. Moving on to section 2, we have a sandbag and a mat, because I'm conscientious like that. So we're going to do some belly carries. We're basically going to do some step back lunges, some reverse lunges holding the sandbag. I might do it on my shoulder. I might do it kind of just holding in front of me. I think holding in front of me I prefer, A, because I'm obsessed with symmetry, because I'm held together by sellotape, so I've got to stay as stable as possible. And then basically ditch the sandbag out the way. I'm going to do some crocodile press ups, which are basically keep your body in exactly the same position with a slightly kind of like misaligned hand position with one side in front of the other, and effectively they're nice and explosive. Feet come off the ground a tiny little bit, upper body comes off the ground, and basically one hand is kind of leapfrogging the other, and then you basically just keep kind of flicking in this way. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're gonna do a few rounds of that, basically 4 or 5 rounds depending on how it feels and depending on when I start to lose form. But again, I'm not going to do this as an EMOM or anything. I'm going to attempt to get this done as kind of the principle of the day is expedience and not talking to you too much and waffling, which is what I normally do. So let's crack on. Section 2 done, 5 on each side for lunges, 10 total, then kind of between 10 to 15 for the crocodile press ups. I tried to make sure in the lunges that the bag wasn't like dropping down and the weight was on my thigh, but to a point, I don't know whether or not it's strength or mechanics or what, but it just, at the bottom of the lunge, it does kind of rest there. So trying to avoid that as much as possible by kind of pulling it up, but it is cheeky. I only did 3 rounds. I am kind of on the clock. So in a second, pack this stuff away. We're back inside upstairs. Boo-hoo, gonna miss the sun, but I needs to be done. We're gonna do some sled work. We're gonna partner that with some other stuff. Let's see what's going on next. Back inside in the old stomping ground upstairs. In a minute, I'm gonna load up the sled. I do have a flipping world record attempt this year on 31st of July, and it is a 24-hour sled push with the rest of Team Natural Power. So I probably should start getting in some flipping prowler work as frequently as I can. Some fairly kind of low intensity, but just volume. Today, I don't have time for volume, but at least there is a level of transferability. So I'm gonna do some heavier stuff and some quick stuff, and I'm gonna superset that with some L hang pull-ups. So basically legs straight out, a little bit of core work, and pull kind of lever strength all in one. Again, I'm just trying to do as many things, like even the farmer's walk carries earlier, a little bit of weighted stuff, a little bit of grip work, a little bit of heart and lungs, and kind of upper body stability and kind of hip articulation all in one. And this is just a really, really kind of great principle to adhere to when you're trying to get, when you know, obviously planning side of it different, but when you've only got a limited amount of time to actually execute a workout, try and put in, you know, a couple of exercises that might double down on a couple of different things. So there are a few different benefits, like L hang pull-ups as an example. It's basically a core exercise and a pull exercise all in one. 3 rounds of that, and then that'll be it. Let's get this stuff done. And as if by magic, it is done. Push there, push back on a lower, flipping annoying handle on the sled. And then between 8 and 10 L hang pull-ups. Second set felt a bit sketchy, it was weird, I wasn't kind of braced when I caught it, but other than that, it felt all right. And again, it's almost like, it's kind of like a bit of a strength and hypertrophy session, but executed a little bit lighter with much less break. Kind of crossfitty then, I suppose, in that sense. But because of that, it becomes a little bit of a metcon. So it's just like, I like to have my specific kind of session structure. Upper lower metcon just seems to work so bloody well for me, which is why I always mess around with other things, but then go back to that. But this is just something where if I'm due a rest day, sometimes when you lean on the bike handle, try to look cash. If I'm due a rest day but I'm feeling pretty good, but I don't want to do too much, I want to keep the volume a little bit lower, or whether or not I'm scheduled something else, but I want to put it on pause. And like if I had a leg session that's going to take 75 minutes, but I don't have 75 minutes, I only have 45, instead of like just half-arsing the leg session, I'll pause it, do it the next day, and basically just do like a whole body kind of cardio bit, strength bit, tune up, metcon session, which is what I've done today. 3 different sections, 6 different exercises total, works so well. Probably 5-10 minute warm up, session done, 5-10 minute cool down, and then it's all gravy. Any comments, as always, put them down in the comment section below. If you have not yet done so, make sure you subscribe. I'm talking to you right now. And as always, guys, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will see you soon.